Hi, everybody. Welcome to Earth and Space Science. This is the end of the second week of our course, and I thought I'd give you a little update, and we can just kind of have a week in review, look what things you should be working on. So first thing is, if you take a look at the screen, you can see in the news item, I've been posting a bunch of information. We have the orientation, we got the video, and we have week 2 work. So this week, we're working on Unit 1, Activity 2, and it covers some of the ideas in spectral classification and atomic spectra, so you can learn about the stars and how they're made up and how we classify them. So let's just take a look in the content section. These are kind of the things where you should be working on, reading, adding to your e-journal, etc. And notice Activity 1 was the night sky, and it looked at a whole bunch of different things, including a little bit of history, Ptolemy's universe, what people thought in the past. And if you watch these videos, they're very enlightening, give you a bit of perspective, get to see things. And then there's some suggestions for you to add things to your e-journal, which is an electronic file that you're going to store information that you think is important about the course. Again, put key ideas there, any examples, keywords, definitions that are going to help you when you go write a test or the final exam. Some great videos as well about locating stars and the various systems, right ascension and declination, and altitude and azimuth with some explanations. So do take a look at that. And if you go next as well, what you're going to see is some questions, more videos, useful things to get familiar with, orient yourself about the stars and the night sky. So that's what we were doing in the first week. So please take a look at that. And then the assignment is listed for you to put into the Dropbox. And that was assignment 1, and just mostly cut and paste, looking up information. This week's activity is about classifying and measuring stars. So if you take a look at the content there, what you're going to be doing is introducing yourself to the electromagnetic spectrum, that are the characteristics of waves and light that atoms create as they go up and down the different orbitals in the atom. Also, it talks a bit about spectroscopy, properties of stars. This is key. When we look at the spectrum of a star, and we can see what the star is made up of by comparing it to the atomic elements and their spectrum, hydrogen, helium, plus all the elements on the periodic table, they have their own characteristic spectrum. So please read this, become familiar how motion affects the light coming from a star, how the atmosphere of a star, if it's high pressure or low pressure, what does that do to the lines in the spectrum, and some equations dealing with how we figure out the temperature. So review those things, move along, and copy those important things down into your notes. And finally, what we looked at was how we classify stars, and "Oh, be a fine girl or guy, kiss me" is the way we remember it, okay? And it tells us specifically what that means and the color of the star. So a blue star has these kind of lines. Green spectral classified star, is color is yellow, temperature, and has mostly these kind of lines. So what we're doing is becoming familiar with what lines are on the stars and how we identify them with the atomic spectra. So that's a little bit about what we did this week. And then what you're going to do is go to the assignment and copy and paste the table, and you're going to answer the questions based on the simulation where you are doing this interactive investigation, what's in a star, comparing different stars to the elements. And then once you're done and you have all that created and the answers to the questions, you're going to drop it into our Dropbox. So if you go to assessments and you go to Dropbox, that should be where you're putting that in. So with taking into account this week in review, here it is here, assignment 2, star spectra, and you're going to drop the assignment in that Dropbox. So I hope that's helpful. That's a week in review for the first 2 weeks anyway, and good luck completing that over the weekend, and hope to see it in the Dropbox by Monday. And then next week I'll continue to post what I expect you to do each week, and I'll try to follow up with a video like this, giving you a kind of rundown of what you're supposed to do. Thank you.